Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd. And you either are or not, but either way, you're here. And it's time for the May 2016 PracticeMaster Virtual User Group Meeting from Attorney Computer Systems. Try saying that 3 times fast. Today we are talking about ScanSnap and its new integration with PracticeMaster. Very cool. Mary Jo and I were playing with this morning. And the Matter Manager link functionality that has been added to the client screen, also in PracticeMaster. Without any further ado, I'm going to press the right buttons. And today those right buttons are a little exciting because we're actually going to change to where Mary Jo is the presenter on her local machine. And yes, because we have a local machine here that has and she's going to show her screen. There we go. Yay, we have a local machine that has a ScanSnap on it, and she's going to use that to show you how this works.
Okay, this is very straightforward. If you have a ScanSnap scanner, boy, I say that 3 times fast, by Fujitsu, you can use this feature. Now, there is a caveat here. You do have to make sure that your ScanSnap Manager version is 6.0L10 or later. So that is 6.0, the letter L, 10, or later. And how you find that out is if you look down here in your ScanSnap Manager down here, I'm just going to go to Help and About ScanSnap Manager. That opens this up and it will tell me right here what version I'm on. So I'm on 6.5 L40, which is higher than the 6.1 L10 that you have to have. Now I will tell you that some scanners don't have this version available because they're older. They only go up to like 4 point something or whatever. And to find that out, you can go out here to the scansnap.com. If you also go to your update, let's say that you were on 4 point something and you right click here and go to your help and do your online update. If it tells you you're already up to date and it doesn't change to something higher than that 4 point whatever it is, you know you've got an older version and it's not going to update. So you will need a newer version of the ScanSnap scanner. I have asked Software Technology to look into that about getting a list of the scanners that may, that will fit this criteria. But just keep that in mind that if it does not update any higher, then that is an older scanner and you'll have to replace that with something new to use this feature. So again, just right click, go into Help About the ScanSnap Manager. That will tell you where you are. If you're not on the most current version, use the update feature right here in the ScanSnap Manager to get the most current version, and then you're ready to start. So the first thing that we have to do is there is a new toolbar plugin in PracticeMaster for ScanSnap. So we're going to go out to the Integration tab. We're going to click on Toolbar Plugins, and right up here is a ScanSnap tab. So we click on that, and we're going to install the ScanSnap plugin. Now, for time's sake, I've already done this, and I've already created my profile, but I'm going to walk you through exactly where to go and how to do that. So we would install this plugin. It would pop up and tell you that it has successfully installed. We'll go ahead and close out of that. Then we go into our ScanSnap Manager, and we're going to go over to the Scan button settings. Now there's 2 ways that you can set up the ScanSnap scanner to profile documents. You can use the quick menu, which will let you pick and choose where you want to save a document. If that's the case, you would come in and you would have to actually choose what application that you want to have this be using. Do you want it to use PracticeMaster? Do you want to use something else? Whatever. I'm going to show you how to actually set up a profile so that everything you scan automatically will just want to profile the document right into PracticeMaster for you and create that doc management record. That seems to be the preferred way that we want things to go in. So if you're not using that, you'd use the quick menu and you would choose PracticeMaster. Otherwise, we're going to set up this profile here. Now in my version of ScanSnap, and my particular model, when I come in here to add a profile, I need to come into the ScanSnap button settings. And right here we've got this application and this button because I've already set those up. But you would hit Add or Remove. And when you do that, we would come in and we would add a new application, and you would come in and put PracticeMaster here, and then you would say OK. That's how I created the profile. So once that's in here, you're going to have this application of PracticeMaster. You're going to have the profile of PracticeMaster here. And once you've set this and chosen this for both of these areas, that's the default then. Now you can always manually come in here and change this if you needed to scan this somewhere else, but by default I want everything to go into PracticeMaster and have that document management record pop automatically. Now you can come into your ScanSnap and either leave your settings how you already had them for these other features, for your save, for your scanning. Do you want this to have automatic resolution, color, all of those things are all just the same as you always had with your ScanSnap. Your file options, whether you want to OCR this or create a password, things like that, your paper compression. What we're doing does not affect any of those. All you're doing is saying you want the PracticeMaster and the PracticeMaster application. Once that's done and we say OK, that will be the default. It'll tell me that it's going to save those settings there. I would say yes. That's my standard. And then I'm ready to scan. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scan a document here. And we'll go ahead and push my button there. And you can see right here it's already bringing up PracticeMaster as my application. So I see that right here on the screen. It disappears. And it pops up my little ScanSnap Messenger box. This is standard. That would always be there. But right behind it is whether or not I want to save as a new document management record. So it's automatically popping PracticeMaster. I can tell it that this is an already existing document and create a version of that if I want. I can go out and select what record this is to update that version. Or I can just save it as a brand new document. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It takes me right to the profile screen. So now I can come in and I can change my description to be whatever I want that to be. Client ID, same as any other document management record at this point, and I can save it. I now will have that document right in PracticeMaster under the client that I specified. So for full instructions on how to set this up, you can go out to the knowledge base, and I'll show you how to get into that. And we're going to be looking at article R as in Richard 11686. It has complete instructions start to finish on how to set up to install the toolbar, how to make sure what version of ScanSnap Manager you have, and then how to set up that profile. So to get into knowledge base, you can go right to Help, Internet Resources, and then Knowledge Base. You can type that article number right in here, R11686. Go there and that will have the full instructions there for you. There is also a video that we have out there that I believe we have saved that is actually put on the ScanSnap website that tells how to set this up with like a YouTube video. So you can kind of go out there. I think Paul is going to get us that address here and pop it in here maybe, or send it to me.
Try.
I don't know where it is, but we'll get that for you. We'll maybe put that in our description or something and get that out there for you. Or you can, if you want it, you can email us. We can provide that for you. Okay, so that is the ScanSnap integration. I'm going to turn it over to Paul.
Mary Jo and I are going to dance for a second. Normally I just take control of my computer over again, but since Mary Jo's on a dedicated machine. Okay, Mary Jo and I are doing a dance here. I'm going to actually move into the machine that she was on. And I am going to really quickly log into her desktop because I have saved that article, or that link to that video. And we'll grab that for you. And then I'm going to talk about the Matter Manager now. Let me quickly get into here. And here, and here, and this is the link to the video. So if we take this, and I'll leave that up so you can copy it down, that's it. It's scansnapcommunity.com/features/13906- how to integrate ScanSnap with Tabs3 with dashes between it. I suppose it could be more complicated, but we'll leave that up for a second. And what this does is takes you to the ScanSnap user community where they do have this video that's really quite a nice video that kind of gives the same sorts of instructions that we just gave, kind of elaborates on the knowledge base article that Mary Jo showed you. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to get back to the desktop here, and I'm going to go back into PracticeMaster. I'm going to talk about something that isn't really all that revolutionary, but it is. I guess what I should say is it's pretty simple in nature, but what it does is kind of cool. If we go into the client screen here and pull up Michael Larson, we now have this link here called Matter Manager. And what this does is takes us straight through to the Matter Manager for whatever client happens to be selected or on the screen. So no matter what screen I'm in, what tab I'm in, this Matter Manager is available, even on the List tab. And we've always had like an icon up here. The problem with this icon up here is you don't have a guarantee that you're going to get through to the right client by doing that. Whereas here, what you're telling is, I definitely want to go to the Matter Manager for the client that I'm currently looking at here. So no matter where I am, whatever client I'm on, if I hit this link, I go straight there. Not all that, what's the word I'm looking for? Not all that, well, I think it's exciting because in the old days, you had to then, if you wanted to come in here and look at the Matter Manager, you had to then many times reselect the client. And so you really had quite a few steps. If they weren't in this list, you had to go to All Matters, you had to order by whatever way you were going to find them. Maybe it was going to be name search instead of client ID. You had to type it, you had to double click, you had to say okay, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're back there. Now, what takes that even a step further is, for one thing, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but in the Matter Manager, you have a billing summary. So by going to the billing summary, you're able to see instantly at a glance information that normally is only available in tabs. So from here, from this client screen, I'm able to click on Matter Manager, go straight to that client, and if the billing summary was what I last had up in the Matter Manager, straight to a billing summary. But then what's even cooler, and this of course has always been there, but now you have access to it from that client screen, is you can also then punch straight through to that particular client in tabs in the Client Manager in tabs. And so at that point, you can get even more detailed information on Michael Larson, like what those fees actually are, and add a new fee, or look at the ledger report, or print a detail work in process, or any of the things that you may have set up down here in the Tabs3 Client Manager, or get through to the client information and actually set up things like fee compensation rules, or percentages that are charged for finance charge, or add a payment, or add costs, or look at existing client funds entries. You can really basically do anything you would need to do for that particular matter in tabs straight from there. So the real exciting part to me is and we're just going to click on that. I don't know why it wants me to acknowledge that. From this screen, or this one, any of these screens that are part of the client screen in PracticeMaster, I can click the Matter Manager, and then very quickly, if what I'm looking for isn't answered in this billing summary, I can then click right through to tabs, get the Client Manager on the screen, and be able to see everything that I may want to see for that matter. Now, in order for that part to work, you do have to have added this button down here. So I'm going to take it off just to show you. This is what it would look like if that button were not there. But all you do is click on Configure Buttons, Add or Remove, click on Tabs, and bam, there it is. It pops up. So that's that. Not all that revolutionary, I guess, but it is still exciting. Not all that, not a big deal. I mean, they added a link to a screen, not a big deal, but huge from a workflow and access to information sort of standpoint. Being able to click once, click twice, and have everything about that matter from tabs available at your fingertips. So that's that. I want to remind you that next month, support for version 15.3 goes away. So if you are on version 15.3 or earlier, well, if you're on something that's earlier, support has already gone away. But if you're on 15.3 next month, they will stop supporting that version. You may even be on maintenance, but you just have never applied the updates and gotten up past 15.3. Now is the time to do it if that's the case. How do you tell if you're on 15.3? Click on Help and About It'll say whatever program you're in this instance, it's about PracticeMaster. And it will tell you what version of the software you are on right here. I'm on 18.1. So if you go into Help and About and find that you are on 15.3, you need to find out how to get past that. You can update to just 16. We recommend, of course, that you go straight up to 18.1. Lots of neat stuff in there that you would find all of a sudden at your fingertips if you updated from 15.3 to 18.1. Next month, we're going to talk about the task list customization. The task list is part of the calendar in PracticeMaster, and not many people are aware, but you have quite a bit of control over how that task list looks. Mary Jo is going to show you that. And I'm going to talk about search settings, something that maybe you've seen but never been able to go into because it won't let you go into it without getting everybody out of PracticeMaster. And so therefore you may not have any idea what that is or what those settings might get you if you were to turn them on or tweak them a little bit. So we're going to actually get in there and look at them and talk about them, see what it is that they do. And I want to remind everybody that we have Attorney Computer Systems out here, and it is available to you. It is attorneycomputersystems.com, and I emphasize that S at the end of the word systems right there. attorneycomputersystems.com. Now, what I'm trying to point you toward is this Videos tab, where you will find the 4 live events that we do every month. We have a virtual user group meeting for Tabs, one for PracticeMaster, that's where you are right now, one for World Docs, and we also have my monthly webinar series that we call our Coffee Pot webinars. These 4 events are all live. So if we click, for instance, on the PracticeMaster virtual user group meetings, we will go to a page that describes those virtual user group meetings, and sometime very soon this will get updated to have registration information for next month. So that you can click on the link, you can find out what's coming up, click on a link and register for that, and then as you scroll down, you get recorded versions of everything we've ever done since we've been recording them. Yes, we did do a few before we recorded, but as you can see, we have 18 pages of recorded webinars from the past, so that's quite a bit of recorded content. And you also have this ability to search up here. So if I go into the search box and simply type email, I can either click on one of these quick links or I can click on the magnifying glass and actually perform the search and get the bigger list, find something that I'm looking for, and simply click on it and go straight to that video. So those things are there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We put a lot of effort into recording these things, and we have a lot of clients that rely on this a lot to get all sorts of useful information. Hopefully you will be one of them as well. That's it for today. Everybody have a good rest of the day, rest of the month, and we will see you in June. Bye-bye, everybody.